Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I want to do is talk about something that I've been asked a lot about recently, and the reason for it is because I have just released my latest book, Before You Buy That Building, The Small Business Owner's Guide to Buying Commercial Real Estate. And at the book launch that I had recently, I was asked the question of, what is the process of writing a book in general? Now, this is a series that I've created for commercial real estate in particular, but for those of you guys who are watching this video, you can target, you could write a book on, let's say you're a commercial roofer, you can write a book on commercial roofing, you could write a book on a variety of different subjects in the commercial real estate industry. And so in today's video, I'm going to go through the process of what you need to consider or do as you're going through the process of creating a book to be able to market for sale on Amazon, and then actually also utilize for your business development efforts, which is what I use my book for immensely. But before we dive into this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you can like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. So now that you've done that, go ahead and like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to explain what the process is like of writing a book. And really, this is going to be a nonfiction. I have never written a fiction book, so I cannot provide any insights on the creative process. But as far as the nonfiction how-to books, this is going to be a very good guide for you to be able to use to write one that fits in with your career path. So, I started writing books back in 2016. I've actually written 6 in total. The first 4 books that I've written were on personal and professional development topics for young professionals. It was called the Millennial Playbook series. And then when I got into commercial real estate back in 2019, I set out to write books on the process of leasing, buying, selling. I'm going to be writing a book on developing commercial real estate. And at some point when I start raising capital, I'm also going to be writing a book on, the things you need to ask a sponsor before you decide to invest with them. So vetting sponsors as a limited partner. So that's kind of the vision of the series. As far as the process of writing one, I think one of the first hurdles you have to overcome is to realize that you have expertise to share. Whenever you first start writing, you think, who is going to really care about what I have to say? Or maybe I don't even have nearly the experience as someone who's been in the business for 20, 30 years. But a lot of times what you need to understand is that if you have more experience than the person who is your target client, so in my case, if I'm working with a small business owner who maybe has not had a lot of experience in the commercial real estate space, my 3 years of experience in leasing, buying, and selling commercial property is going to be way more than what they have. And so being able to provide insights and context to the process is something that I can do as a commercial real estate agent. So getting over that limiting belief that, who am I to write a book, that is something you first have to overcome. And it's not easy. It took me a long time before I felt comfortable enough to release my first book, the Millennial Playbook, back in 2017. I actually started writing it back in 2015. It took me almost a year after it was already complete and edited and everything to release it because I did have that limiting belief about who am I to write a book at 24 years old or 25 years old. So again, that's the first thing, is get over that limiting belief, and then you'll move on to the next phase of the cycle. So the next phase of the cycle is actually setting aside time to write. You may be looking at this book. This is 150 pages. I think the total word count is close to 30,000 words. And so you may be thinking, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to write 30,000 words? Well, the way I always describe it is you can't eat an elephant in one bite. So what I've always done when I get in writing mode is I write 250 to 500 words a day. So let's just do the math so you can see how this all works out. Let's say that you write 500 words a day every weekday for as long as you need to in order to complete your book. So if you're trying to write a 200-page book, the average length of a 200-page book is roughly 50,000 words. So if you're writing 500 words a day, just on the weekdays, let's say, is going to be 2,500 words per week. 50,000 words divided by 2,500 words per week will give you 20 weeks. So theoretically, in 20 weeks, you should be able to write that 200-page book. Obviously, that is not a fully edited book. That is just writing the book out and structuring it in a way that makes flow and makes sense. The next part of the process is the actual editing process. And whenever you're writing a book, I highly encourage you not to edit when you're writing. Just get your writing, your word count done, and then go away and do whatever you need to do. And maybe on the weekends, take some time to edit the content, move things around, change out words, etc. But focus on writing during your writing sessions, and then on the editing side, on the weekends, take some time to look through it and everything else. What I typically do when I finish my book is I personally edit it twice myself, and then I send it off to an editor, and I utilize services on Fiverr.com. There's other gig economy softwares that you can utilize that, you can find someone who can edit your book. But essentially, I hire someone on Fiverr to edit the book as well. So typically, that costs anywhere between, let's say, $100 to $200, and I definitely wouldn't recommend skimping on just someone who's cheap. You want to make sure they, in fact, are good at what they do so that you don't have any typos, because this is going to be something that you're going to be handing out to clients that people are going to be buying. And if they see a lot of typos and bad information, for example, you're going to be, it's going to be reflecting poorly on you. So that's number 2, is working on getting the editing process completed. After the editing process is done, I typically hire someone on Fiverr as well to format the book. As you can see here, you can kind of see that it is nicely formatted. It's very professional and everything else. There's actually individuals on Fiverr who all they do is edit books format books to be able to be in this presentable format. And so I pay someone on Fiverr. I think it's anywhere between, I believe it's $70 to $100, when you include fees and whatever else. So that's a guidepost that you can use in order to find a formatter online. And then finally, the book cover is something that you need to consider as well. I use Fiverr. You could also use 99 Designs. There's a variety of different sites where you can solicit the services of a book cover designer to be able to come up with book cover information for you, or designs for you. So now you have a formatted book, you have an edited book, and you finally have your book cover ready to go. Now it's time to upload it to Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP is essentially the Kindle Direct Publishing. It is a site where you can upload your book and then have it available on Amazon for sale. And Amazon, one of the great things about Amazon is, number 1, it's self-publishing, so you don't have to go through a publisher. There's no gatekeeper that keeps you from distributing your content, and it's print on demand. What that means is that if someone buys your book on Amazon, Amazon will send the request to one of their sites in, I think, South Carolina or various other places around the country. It will get printed on site and then sent out. So you don't have to actually buy 100, 200, 300 books, and whenever an order comes in, you mail it out. It's all handled through Amazon, and they take a cut of whatever the profits are for that service, but it keeps you completely removed from that entire process, which helps immensely. So that's what I recommend, is uploading it to Amazon KDP. Along with that, Audible is becoming a lot more popular, so that's one of the things that I would encourage you to do. Look to see if you can read your book in a Zoom profile, like separate each chapter by a Zoom meeting. So you do a Zoom meeting, record yourself reading the entire chapter, save that individual file and separate them out so you can send it out to individuals to edit and then ultimately upload it to Audible as well. And so that's kind of the high level process of what I do in order to create a book and then market it for sale. This book is also a phenomenal business card. Anytime I meet with potential clients and I have a good conversation, I hand them a copy of the book and I say, hey, here's a reference guide that you can utilize as we're going through the process. And I can't tell you how many times it's helped me, improve my rapport with an individual. And I've also, in my opinion, I think I secured listings because of it. Obviously, there's other factors at play when it comes to secured listings. But the fact that I had a book that I shared with my potential client made a big impact in their decision to actually go with me as far as listings are concerned. So hopefully you get some value from this video. If this is something you'd want to do, I highly encourage you to do it. It does make a big difference, and it helps you achieve a higher level of a thought leadership platform. So I highly encourage you to do so. If you're in the market to buy commercial real estate, you should definitely check out this book. I'll have a link in the description below that you can use to buy. And if you're in the Louisville metro area looking to buy a commercial building, feel free to reach out to me. I'm a commercial agent in town. I'd be happy to help you. My number is 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at raphael@crisantigroup.com. Along with that, this channel has been growing, which is phenomenal. I really appreciate all you guys' support. Again, if you wouldn't mind, go to the bottom, like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. So thanks all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.